Okay, we are back looking again at my dad's 228H, and last video that we threw up on this one, we just basically went through replacing the one-piece fuel cap gasket, which of course put a little bit of wear on the cap, but yeah, that's kind of unavoidable. So what we're going to do today is that we want to try to get this thing working again, because right now the valve is frozen up and the tip cleaner is frozen up. And generally what happens is that you get a little bit of varnish built up in there or something like that, and it makes everything stick together. So if you can just get a little bit of heat into it, then you can usually get everything running just like it's supposed to. So what we're going to do here is I want to really avoid taking this frame off. I just don't want to do that. And I'm hoping that I can just take the valve wheel off. And then from there, use a little bigger one. From there, I can apply a little bit of heat to the valve stem. And once I get some heat on that valve stem, then it'll carry down the stem into where it is all gummed up at the moment. So we're just going to kind of set this aside here. And let's see, so we got a nice little torch. Gonna get this in a spot here so you can kind of see what I'm up to. Gonna soften the flame up a little bit, and then just kind of apply some gentle heat to this this valve stem. This is the way to get these things unstuck. You definitely don't want to just crank down on them, because if you crank down on them, you stand a good chance of dislodging. Well, this one, since it's a newer one, they opted to make things a little bit cheaper, but this one does not have a brass insert in it. And oops, I thought I was catching something on fire, but I'm not. So this one doesn't have the brass insert in it. So if you crank this down too hard, you're just going to go ahead and strip that out, and then you won't be able to do anything with it. You could damage the valve stem itself. And now that I sit here and I think about this, applying heat to it, and that not having a brass insert, I don't know if I want to exactly put that right back on there and then potentially melt the plastic. So I'm gonna go take a look in my magical box of tricks over here and see, because I believe I've got another valve wheel that's an older one that has a metal insert in it. Let's see if I am lucky. Here is one. Yep. So this is one with a metal insert, and so that's good. We'll go ahead and put this in here. Set this aside. Back over here. Okay. So yeah, so this one a little bit grubby, but you can see this one has the brass insert in it. So that's going to stand up to the heat better. It's going to stand up to me applying torque to this better. And we'll see if we can't, there she goes. Get it to come loose. So that is really great. And yeah, there's a little bit of graphite buildup on there. I don't know if you can quite see that, but right here is a little bit of graphite that's on it. And that's what happens when things kind of get stuck. So what I try to do before I screw that in, because all that is on there, and it's just going to rub against the packing, and it's going to mess up the packing further. So what we're going to do is try to rub that off with this. I think it's going to take a little bit of a brass brush here to clean that up properly. And we'll just kind of turn it back a little bit to get to all sides of it. I really like having these brass brushes, because brass on brass, all it does is, oh, and that's the end of that camera over there. Well, that's not very friendly now, is it? Well, let's see if we can get it to wake up again. Okay, well, we'll just kind of push on here. Sorry about the audio changing, because that camera over there is what records the audio. And we're just going to kind of screw this back in and see how it feels, which it feels pretty good. So like I was saying about the brass on brass, you're not going to damage anything. because you will basically only be removing the dirt, and the brass won't stretch brass. Although this one, when I picked it up, is actually a stainless one, so probably shouldn't use that one. Right, so let's get this screwed back in. Everything lined up like it's supposed to be. Once I get it back in here, get that right up top. There we go. Everything working just like it's supposed to. This is still, oh no, it does move. Okay, so that's moving. So there's probably a little bit of heat that conducted through there too. So I think it's time to fuel and fire it. So let's see. Got a little bit in here. We'll throw this in. See what happens. It's probably been 15 years since I've lit this thing up. Maybe a little more. Hopefully that's enough to get the job done. That cap's not going to work now, is it? Right. Okay. Crank that down. That's closed. Open this. Alright, let's see if we get any noise. Yeah. Okay, it just spit. And the spark around here is out of flints, so it doesn't want to go. And that thing just the spark around that doesn't work all the time either. So I'm going to use this to light my poor matches and see if we can't get some light out of this little girl here. There she goes. Nice. Open. I really like these ones with the cranks on them. It makes it so easy to do multiple cleanings. If we need some pressure. There's not much fuel in here, which is why I'm having to pump this thing up to Dickens and back. But yeah. There we go. That looks good. That looks really nice. Working like she always has. So that's good. So yeah, I'll be able to get this back to my dad and say, here you go, buddy. It's all working. Everything moves, and replace the gasket and made your gas cap look a little bit weathered. But hey, you know, what are you gonna do, I suppose. But yeah. So yeah, I'm real happy with that, and that was really easy. So we'll let it run here for a little bit. The generator, I think, was new. I think I put that in there when I put the mantles on. Maybe not. Probably not. I don't think it's been used enough to really even require a new generator. But at any rate, that's it, right? So here is a super short video because there just wasn't much to do, but at least you kind of get an idea on what the process is as you go through this, and how you get to you get something that you're not exactly sure what it's going to do, and how you go through there to make sure everything works. I'm also watching right here around the valve stem to see if there's any fuel coming out, because sometimes when these get stuck and you unscrew them, packing will get a little bit messed up in there, and if it does, it might start to leak. And if that does, all you do is just you put like a quarter turn on it, and then it should stop your leak, and you should be good to go. But yeah, so this one is working perfectly fine, just like it always has. And now my dad can get it back and use it if he likes. I just got to find him some flints for that. But those are Ronson lighter flints that you can pick up down at Walmart or any other place that sells lighters and stuff like that. So I'll get the flints replaced, and then the sparker will work, and then he'll be in tip-top shape. So that's it. That was a quick one. So anyway, thanks so much again for watching. Please subscribe. I try to put new content up to keep everyone interested in what's going on. And a lot of the stuff is just kind of you and me sitting down and watching me work and listening to the thought process and maybe a few stories or lies along the way. But it's fun for me, and I hope it is fun for you too. So until next time, keep them lit.